Okay. Oh, do you see me?
I don't.
Okay, I need to figure this out.
There you are. Saw you for a second.
How about now?
Nope.
Well, I'm going to wait a second before I touch any buttons.
Okay. Yeah, you were on just for one split second. There you are.
Oh, good. There I am.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see your smile.
You too.
Thank you.
Well, I see you all the time. Not all the time, but
I'm old hat.
yes. I've seen you in videos.
So you saw some of my videos.
Oh, yeah, and I still have a couple saved. The I Am video.
Yeah.
You remember that one?
Oh, yeah. That's the last one I did. I haven't done many lately, although I'm being called. I think I'm being, prompted to make some more. But I've been on the move, and then I did this, and it just really, when I broke my wrist, it, took me down. I was
good.
I guess so. Because I was having some amazing experiences. I was having some incredible downloads and initiations. Incredible stuff. Every single day I was having in and out of different dimensional, stuff. And then when this hit, it was just took me straight out of it. And I was on pain pills and everything else. But I figured there was a reason for it,
Absolutely. It's all good.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just I touched something. Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. I've been a seeker all my life, and I went through Christianity hardcore. Any field I went into, I gave it my all, and that's done. And even today, I was thinking, remember when you were a little girl going to Catholic school in your uniform, and the church was just so awesome. So I'm even going back and embracing all instead of going Christianity, the demons and this and that. So I'm doing all that,
recalibrating.
It happened today.
Good.
And so it's been a year that I've been meditating, and it's been like 3 months, 3 months I've been meditating every day. And every day I go, it's better every time I go. I don't know where I'm going to go. I know it's going to be better. I know I'm going to either talk to somebody, see things, or just experience, or all three, or I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm there. And I'm actually using Joe Dispenza's meditations. Last night I did his chakra. He doesn't call them chakras. Oh my God.
Yeah, good stuff.
He was, every word he said had just total meaning to it for the first time. Every word,
Good. That's what's going on with you, is you literally, because you're doing this, you're raising your frequency and
all organic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Quit smoking a year ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I
still haven't gotten to that. I did
4 years no alcohol.
Oh, nice.
So it's happening, and I am hoping. I have 4 children. I'm hoping that I want James to come out of this as well, because there's a part of me that hasn't let go of feeling like I could have done something different, because I'm just beginning to see. He lives in I went and saw this man that is an energy healer, chiropractor. He's just fantastic. I saw. And he said, and he met James. James was diagnosed with major paranoid schizophrenia on 11/11/11. James is just a special kid, a genius, creative. He was always spiritual. He went through 3 sexual abuse deals. But anyway, I'm just beginning to understand. This man said that he's in the anti-fifth dimension. That's where he lives. That's where he is on the planet.
That wouldn't surprise me.
And I don't really understand what that means.
Yeah.
But even when I was talking to Michael and James went outside, and Michael only worked on him 5 minutes, James said, "That's it." You know, he said, "You could have done that in a second."
Yeah.
You know, 5 minutes, whatever. And there was like this knowing, and there was a shift, and he was able to think more clearly. But he went outside, and he was walking back and forth, talking out loud. And I said to Michael, "I haven't seen him do that in a long time." He said he's saying goodbye to some of the entities he's lived with for years.
Wow.
And so, and now James is homeless on another island, and he's still in that realm, so we can't communicate, and he doesn't fit. But at the same time, he's speaking
light language.
Yes. And he was doing that years ago.
Well, and he knew what he was doing when he came in here, even though he knew what his role was going to be, even though he doesn't maybe know right now. Maybe he does.
I think he was in jail for stealing some sunglasses at the mall when he was delusional.
Yeah. And
it took him several years to realize that, oh yeah, I was delusional. I didn't mean to steal them. And anyway, I feel like all along the way, if I had known what I know, I could have communicated with him. But even now, I don't think I could even communicate with him, even if he came back today. But that's the thing. I just got to work through knowing that he chose me, I chose him, and I remember him being here, and he wouldn't go anywhere, and I would have to push him back out on the streets just so he'd be outside. And he would say, "Mom, would you mind leaving me alone? Quit talking to me." And I'm not talking to you, James. All you want is my attention all the time. And so I'm understanding everything he's saying. And he also said, "I wish those Mexicans next door would leave me alone." And now I'm understanding they were messing with him. And you know, years ago he said, "People are reading my mind. I could read people's minds." And at that point, it's like, no, they can't. You know.
Right.
So everything is clicking, since I am making that adjustment right now into the fourth and kind of seeing where he's at. And everywhere he goes, he's a gift to every single person who crosses his path. Aww. You know. And he said he knows the homeless gig. "Don't worry about me, Mom." And my path is in Oahu. He actually manifested this plane ticket. You know, he has no job, no money. He doesn't fit. He just doesn't fit. And
wow, what a brave soul to come in and do what he's doing.
Jesus.
Yeah, I've got two really, really highly spirited, rambunctious, not like James, but really highly spirited children who, you know, it's rough. It's rough.
Yes.
I mean, it's not an easy.
To see what they're going through.
Yeah, it is.
And the others are alcoholic, and and Lizzie she was cleaning with who just happened to clean with a medium who stopped and said, "Your dad is being persistent. I have to tell you what he's telling me." And so she was able to receive that. And
cool.
Yeah, I get it. The children are. It hurts though. It hurts really deeply. But that's part of being a mom in 3D, right?
Well, and it's also part of the loving and being able to let go and not take on other people's. Think about this. This is what James does to a major extent. He literally takes on everybody's stuff. He sees it all very personally. And he's showing you to a major extent what you're doing to a minor extent and how it can hurt you. Now, he's got his own thing, but even though, I mean, God, I know, I mean, even though there are our children, they have their own lives. They came through us. They are not us.
And he's happier than I am.
Mm-hmm.
I got to remember that. June, he's happy, okay? He's happy. He did fine in jail. He did fine on the beach. I mean, he's happier than you are. Get over it.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and
Okay.
you know what? Even though my daughter called me at midnight last night, and we talked for like an hour and a half, and that is not typical because we've had a really tumultuous relationship all of her life, and she's 33. But it's just getting better and better and better because I stopped judging her. I stopped needing to have her be any differently than she is, and I started seeing the best in her. And the best is what I see now. That's what comes to me.
Yes.
And it gives her room to grow in my world because what you're seeing is a reflection of where you are.
Yeah.
And all of that, I mean, it really gets down to where you are and how you perceive and what you choose and all of that. And everybody, there's so many people right now. Do you follow the one people or anything like that, like the radio show? Did you ever know about the radio show that I had and that whole group of people that were on tour with 5D Media Network or anything like that? That's not how you found me?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's not bad. But they all have gone to fight the bad guys, and I'm like, what? I mean, and they garnered a whole huge group of people to support them, and financially, and I've never asked for anything, although, well, I just haven't yet, I haven't, but they all decided to go fight the bad guys. And I'm like, really? You don't even get that? I mean, this is what you guys have been preaching for 3 years. And you don't get that when you fight something, you bring it to you and it grows and it becomes more in your reality? Seriously?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm letting go of this now. I love you. I wish you well. I trust that everything that you're doing is in absolute perfection. But it's time for me to move on. Because that doesn't work for me. It doesn't. All right, so let's go ahead and get this laid out. And I'm also going to pull a card at the end of this. This is one of my new decks because I've been getting, it's the Isis Oracle deck. Did you see that? Are you looking for your
get
glasses?
My notes. Go.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm recording this, so I'll give you.
I haven't done tarot yet, and I'm kind of.
Oh, cool.
I know I will. And I'm looking at different people's. Well, the only other person was Matthew Stelzner did astrology reading for me, and he has Osho.
Yeah, Osho was one of the very first decks I ever got. But I'm
not. It's not like I wanted. It's like I didn't go to Amazon and order it. Like
right.
I didn't feel.
Yeah, and Osho doesn't appeal to me really now, but my main deck that I'm using is the Llewellyn deck, and this is what the cards look like here, and I'll show you, what they look like as they come up for you, but they're beautiful, and I really like the storyline. I mean, it's the basic storyline. It's about, it's the hero's journey, but this other deck that I just showed you is more of an oracle deck, and I'm just going to pull one card from that, but it's called the Isis Oracle because I've been getting initiations from the Isis Collective, and like beautiful, amazing initiations, several of them over this past year. So I bought this recently. I've splurged and bought myself an oracle deck, and I'm excited because it's a beautiful, beautiful deck, and I'll just pull one card from it, but the reading itself just from that one card is massive. But this is the deck that I'm going to use for the whole reading is a regular tarot deck, and I do a pretty typical reading layout, which is 10 to 11 cards depending, and I've got a cloth. I'm having a hard time talking. I've got a cloth.
You're my first tarot reader. reading ever.
Oh, I'm excited.
I mean, official.
Oh, yay.
Yay.
All right, so I'm going to connect with this deck. I'm going to do one more little thing, and then I'm going to connect with the deck and get my energies, and then I'm going to pull your energies into it and ground it, and then we'll get started with the layout. Okay. Okay. Oh, poo. Sorry. I'm backing this up. I'm looking at this and I'm going, this doesn't feel right. And I actually missed a step that I usually take. That's really wild. And I won't do it unless I get it right. So I'm going to go over this again.
I'm going to continue grounding. There's a part of me that just wants to be flying 100 miles an hour everywhere. But
Okay, so I'm going to put these in five different decks, laying them out, and I just need you to tell me which ones to pick up first, second, third, fourth, and then last.
So when do I say something?
Now. Like from 1 to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I need to pick them all up, so you just tell me which order to pick them up in.
2.
Okay.
1.
Okay.
4, 5, 3.
All right.
I have a 35-year-old. Well, he turned 36.
Oh, wow, cool.
James is 24. So, and then I have a 20 and a 22-year-old.
So you had your 16 years apart. You just had some in between.
Oh, yours are too, 16 years apart.
Yeah, mine are 16 years apart with none in between. My son's 17. My daughter's 33.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So at the center of the reading, which is just kind of what everything is swirling around, kind of like a cyclone around the middle of this, is the Nine of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is about being overwhelmed by thoughts.
Okay.
This is about having thought forms that are just coming in and you're like, oh my God, I can't handle this anymore. It's just like overwhelming.
That's today.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And that's what this reading is about. So that's at the very center. Now there's a wind blowing across it and it's actually moving towards the future. It's the coming up nows. And that card is the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is about the messenger of spiritual. It's a spiritual messenger, giving you a message, kind of bringing you information to help you into the next nows coming up. And that's what's coming across the wind right now for you. So whether it's me in this reading, or more than just me, and it could be, you are bringing that in for yourself. It's typically a feminine energy that is the page. And it's really about burning off the past and allowing for the new. And so that's what that's all about right there. Then we've got, wow, another page. Foundational card. So this is a card that is kind of what everything is built upon. It's kind of your underlying.
Yes, I actually got the message. My structure, my belief systems are like structures, and they're all crumbling. And I'm like right now, I feel like there's not another structure, but in reality, yes, June, there is another structure. And you can trust that. So, and it's also the ego. I don't even understand the ego structure. My whole framework is realigning. It's coming into form. And I'm in my second Saturn return right now.
Okay.
I have Saturn 12th house, Scorpio.
Cool.
And so now it's into Sagittarius a little bit, and it's going to come back and hit me again. It's a gift. So structures, and also that's squared to Venus conjunct Pluto in Leo. And I mean, the astrology is just amazing.
Well, yeah, and I'm really becoming very excited about this sidereal astrology, which is
what is it?
Sidereal. It's Sidereal. There's a guy named Athen Chimenti, Chimenti, I believe. And this is the ancient
Adam?
Athen, Athen.
Okay, that's what I thought you said.
And he actually does ancient, and actually it's not just ancient, it's the way astrology was always done up until 200 AD, and then they kind of cemented it in and cut it up into 30 degrees, each one of the houses into 30 degrees, even though some of the constellations are much larger and some are smaller. So what ends up happening is you get read, that something's right here and it's actually over here, or it's reading right here and it's really over here. So it's really kind of off. Which
yes.
I thought for the longest time, because people would ask me, what's your sign? And I'm like Capricorn, but I'm nothing like a Capricorn. Well,
right.
In Sidereal, which is kind of very much like, it has to do with, I'm hearing a feedback, and I'm not sure where that's coming from. Can you hear it?
Well, it doesn't bother me, but I hear it
okay.
Up here.
That's okay then. But it's Vedic astrology, sort of, and it's what all of the rest of the world actually uses, except for tropical or Western, which uses the cut-up form. And I was really getting into tropical because I was just like, wow, I'm just loving this. And then I came across Athens, and several other of my friends have it. Independent of me. And so I'm actually going to do, Tuesday, I'm going to do an interview with him, and he's going to do my chart. And I'm going to find out why I'm having such a difficult time with abundance, with money, but also the rest of my chart. And I'm doing an interview with him, and I'm going to post it so that everybody can see, and he's going to talk about it. But I'm really loving what's coming through there, so it should be fun. Because I am Sagittarius up and down and every which way, and in sidereal astrology, I am all, like I've got my sun, my Jupiter, Saturn, and Mercury all um, in gosh, I can't even talk right now. That's so funny. You know what I mean. But anyway, so the next card here is the foundation card. And the foundation card is the Page of Swords. And there's another page, and this is about thought forms. So this is about the messenger. It's like the messenger of your thoughts. This is like you being a messenger or waiting for messengers to help you with straightening out your thoughts, with getting clear, getting focused. And that's what this reading is all about. You want to get clear. You want to get focused about the messages that you're getting and what you can do with them. The next card is your higher self card. And your higher self card is the Page of Pentacles. And another page, you have 3 pages all up and straight up and down. I've never seen this. And this is about being a messenger of 3-dimensional physicality. This is about getting messages within the three-dimensional physicality. It's about money. It's about home. It's about moving day to day, doing your thing. Making that work. And this is, you've got 3 messengers up and down. So this is your higher self card saying, listen to the messages around you in your reality, in what you are traversing in 3-dimensional reality, seeming 3-dimensional reality, because that's not really where you are. But the physicality that you see around you has messages for you. It has keys and codes for you. And it's time to start really learning the keys and codes. And your higher self is giving them to you all the time. So it's asking you to pay attention, to start learning about what the keys and codes are. And to me, astrology is part of the keys and codes. Numbers are part of the keys and codes. Words that are said, and 2 things coming together, that synchronicities, that's all keys and codes. And that's really all that's happening. It's like the higher dimensional reality coming into this seeming lower dimensional reality and making itself physical. It's still all keys and codes made physical. Okay? So the next card...
I absolutely... As you were saying all that, I was high as a kite. My whole body's just so high and happy. And words have special meanings. In my meditation last night, anytime a word came in, it broke down into syllables, and each syllable had a meaning.
And what you're doing is you're getting the higher dimensional form of the words, and you're going to start noticing that everything that happens around you is a message for you. And it is obvious. It becomes obvious. And it's because what you're doing is you're moving into those higher frequencies, and in the higher frequencies, everything makes sense, and everything is for you, and everything is so much more meaningful than anything else.
Yes, and every single day, like I've been staying up till 2, 3, 4, 5 in the morning this week, and I just accept it, and the old voice, oh, you need to wake up and you got a house and a condo to clean. I've learned to ignore that, because even if I get there at noon instead of my usual 9, it works out better than if I had gotten there.
Right.
All of it, everything is lined up, and I meet the people I'm supposed to meet because I just surrendered to that schedule.
Beautiful.
And day before yesterday, somebody called and asked if I'd be it's $100, and uh, 10 minutes. I'm getting stuff like that. And actually, he has 2 condos. He wants to be the property manager. All I got to do is pick up the rent. I know him and his family. His daughter's my best friend. And I said, sure, I'll do that. And I'm expecting it. I'm making $35 an hour, and I'm hardly working really, and I can take off whenever I want unless there's a back-to-back, and I'm doing Wailea, and everybody I know I'm in love with, and they're in love with me, and there's just this knowing, and I'm realizing, even though I went to Smith College, and I'm so smart and should run my own business, and my brothers and sisters are wealthy and executive at Walmart and all this, and I'm still on housing and food stamps. I'm still at this level. However, I'm in Hawaii, Maui, and I'm serving people. I'm learning how to serve. I'm learning about money. Coming from a millionaire family, and also education. Is that me? Does it really matter?
Yeah.
That.
And I get the whole Smith thing. That is amazing. Oh my God.
And I keep getting $10 million. I'm going to have $10 million. I keep getting that message, and it's like, cool. And just recently I got $14,000.
Nice.
Yes. I was able to pay off last year's taxes and get my car fixed and buy my daughter photography equipment, and also now I have like $7,000 in the bank, and it's like get my teeth fixed, learning how it feels to have money, and like what if it's going to be gone, and then what am I going to do? Listening to all these thoughts. It's really interesting.
Beautiful.
And then at the same time, I'm getting these new jobs where, I'm making $100 in 10 minutes. I'll take it.
You go, girl. That's awesome.
And you'll get it. You'll get your root. You'll learn the root beliefs with money. And I'm learning that too. And it's washing out. And the fears, I'm watching them melt like the Wicked Witch in the West. Just, I observe it. I know what it is. And okay, fear, you're out of here. I see what you are.
Looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to that, because I kind of was raised the opposite. I was raised very poor. We didn't have any money.
There's not enough. There's not enough.
Never enough. Hand-me-downs, not, from the people at the church, blah, 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 blah. But, it could have easily been the other way. Like my son's father went to Amherst. And so
I went to Smith.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and his first wife, his wife went to Smith. First wife. They got divorced early, but I went up there with him several times, and he showed me that. But that was a world I had never known. But it was interesting. It's kind of cool that now I have a little taste of that, and that you went there. That's really cool.
Yeah, I know poverty and I know wealth. I've lived both.
Yeah, and what's really, what's really true in any of it? What's true is where your heart is, and it's not, climbing some ladder and going to this school and having this much money makes you, because my ex is still all into that. He still thinks that that's all important, and and my son is living with him and learning that, and had lived with me before that and knew where I was coming from, but he has to. He's got to choose. Gets to see them both, and then he gets to decide, where he wants to go with it all.
Some of each. It's a learning experience.
Yeah. All right. So back to your reading, because we've got about 6 more.
Okay, I will put duct tape on my mouth.
That's okay. I'm enjoying this. So this is the recent past card, and it's Higher Arcana card. It's the full moon. It's an 18, which comes to 9, which is completion. So you went through a type of completion recently. And I've got 91% on my battery right now, and 904. 5-4, which is another 9. You got 9s going on everywhere here, which is all about completion. You are letting go. You are ready to let go. You are there. And this is about, recent past card is about, I wish that wasn't, I wish that reverb wasn't on it. It does kind of tend to mess with me. Do you have like anything, that speaker or something going on there? I'd love for that not to be on. Let me see if it's still going. No, it stopped. Whatever you just did stopped. Oh, I can't hear you though. Okay. So
it turns back on.
Okay. Do me a favor and go ahead and mute yourself. And if you need to talk to me, talk to me. You know, pull it back up. But that feels better. So the recent past is the full moon card, which is the 9, and then I get all these other 9s lined up in front of me. And the full moon card is about receptivity. This is about really bringing into yourself the information, the energies of the moon, which is a goddess energy. It's a very feminine, watery energy, and it's about the ebb and flow and allowance. It's about wisdom. It's about shining the light of the sun onto the darkness and being able to see in the darkness. And it's really a powerful card. And so this is something that you experienced fairly recently that has shifted this off for you. And is having all of these messengers come to you. And in so doing, you got overwhelmed because you really are raising your frequency so high, so quickly, that it's becoming like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this kind of thing, right? Okay, so the next card is the near future card. And I'm loving this. This is one of my fave cards. This is the 3 of Cups. This is another full moon. Look at that full moon sitting there. And it is about, Cups is about water. It's about feminine. It's about flow. It's about love. And think of water. Water, you know, is soft. It's can be cold. It can be hot. It can be hard. It can be steam. It can be all kinds of things. It can go, you know, into the smallest cracks, and it can make things like the Grand Canyon happen. Water is a very powerful, flowing, emotional power, and actually very much, you know, that's very much what the full moon card is about as well. The full moon is all about water, the receptivity, and it's also about emotions. So this 3 of Cups card is about celebration with goddess sisters. This is about bringing your friends together, or coming together with your friends, and celebrating, really celebrating the emotion of who you are. Emotion is what, it's the energy of motion that is taking you where you're going now. And it requires celebration. It requires being as a child, dancing. If you get chances to go dancing, go do it as much as you can. Sing, you know, listen to beautiful music, watch other people dance, but dance yourself. You know, celebrate with others around you, not just women, but women right now, because this divine feminine is coming in just in a huge way. The Isis goddess energy is pouring through the feminine portals, through men and women, but the women are more apt to take it on and to understand the message and to let it flow and use the emotion in that way of allowing that love, and even allowing the crying, allowing whatever it is that comes through to come through, because that also heals. So that's what's coming up soon. So there's going to, actually, I also just got too that there's going to be real reason for celebration for you. Like amazing reason for celebration for you. So yay. And this card is your fear card. This is the next card is where your fears lie. And it's almost exactly the same kind of card. This is the Queen of Cups. So this is about, this is about owning your place in all of this. This is about taking your seat on the throne. Do you know that Isis means throne? Isis means throne, and Isis is the grand goddess. She's ancient goddess. She was the first Egyptian goddess known. All other goddesses are aspects of her. The Mother Mary energy, the Magdalene energy, Hecate, all of the other goddesses are all aspects of the great goddess. And the great goddess is coming through to us now. And so what this is saying is that you have a fear of owning that, of really coming into that full on and, stepping into your power as goddess, walking on this earth. And so that would be the thing to do your meditation on a couple times a week. Really move into bringing in that goddess energy, owning it, becoming it.
Yeah, she just said, come sit on my throne with me, and I will embody you in my meditations.
She will too. She's embodied me a few times, and it was brilliant, stunning.
And by the way, in my chart, I have moon is midheaven.
Wow.
Yes, conjunct sun in Libra, and then the moon conjuncts Neptune.
Wow.
It's all midheaven.
Wow.
So all of this is very familiar with me. And it's just this year I'm embracing emotion, allowing it to move through me. And now, all my life I have not had a self-identity. I didn't know, I was in codependent relationships, abusive relationships. So I became a child when my children were growing up. So I'm beginning to learn who I am. And the key, there's that word. Key codes. Yes. I want to know what that means. I will learn.
Yes, you will.
Astrology. Reading the conjunctions and the squares, and I am going to take my first astrology class in a couple weeks.
Well, definitely listen to the show, because you may want to shift it to that, because it definitely moves things slightly in a different. I mean, it's the same thing otherwise, but it puts you, for me anyway, and for everybody else that I know who's done it. In fact, I was on a show with India. I don't know if you know who India is, but okay.
Yeah. I used to have. She just posts too much stuff.
I know. So I did a show with her and this Athen and one of her astrologer people, a woman. I can't think of her name. Elizabeth, I think. But anyway, she actually came on. She's she's a. Can you mute that, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. You can chime in whenever you want. But anyway, this woman, is an astrologer, and she's been on her shows a lot. And she came on for Athens' presentation, and she actually said, "This is so much more me than tropical astrology or Western astrology."
What's
her name? I think maybe it's Janet something. I'll have to look. She's a friend of India's, and she's been on India's show doing astrology several times, and she was on with. I'll send you the link. I'll try to find that link again, and send you the link to that show, and you can listen to that. So he did part of my reading then, and I got in contact with him yesterday, and I said I'd really love to have, the full reading. And I don't have a whole lot of cash right now, so I'm like hoping, how about if we do this and I can, introduce you to all of my friends, and we can do it as an interview, and also showing everybody what is possible through what you do, because it's all about spirituality for him. So, and I find it brilliant. I actually found him on my own about 8 months ago. So I would suggest listening to that, finding out what that's about, because it feels like it's more in alignment with truth. I feel like we got shoved off just like the Bible did and everything else. It got put into like a little square box and cut into square pieces, and so what they're doing now, even though much of it still makes a whole lot of sense, and it does, and there's a reason for that, but most people are not the signs that they think they are, and neither are any of the other parts of that. And once you realize what you really are, it's like, oh my God, that makes even more sense. So anyway, I just want to put that out there. So anyway, where we were before a minute ago is the Queen of Cups, and owning that. And, so really move into that space with yourself in your connections with higher self, and come into balance with who you truly are. You are, you are here to channel Goddess, at least for a time being, because there's a balance that needs to happen, and it's not about overpowering men or anything like that. It's about coming in and bringing balance in, and making everything loved and everything in balance. Spin. Now, the next card is what your it's typically how you see yourself, but I don't know that this is it. And I've been reading it differently recently, and I've been reading it more as what your environment is like around you right now, kind of what your whole environment is, and maybe the spiritual environment. And it's a Higher Arcana card, and it's the horned one, so I guess it's the devil card, the typical devil card, and it's a 15, so it would be 6. And it's really about facing the darkness within you. So whatever's going on right now is asking you to face the darkness within you. It's asking you to really not push it aside, not push it down, not ignore it. It's just like exactly what we said a minute ago. It's about bringing it into the fullness of the love that you actually are, and making it a part of you, and letting it know that it is loved, and it no longer has to fight and push against you. It will become an ally now, and an asset for you, rather than an adversary.
One of my themes is the dazzling darkness, going into the darkness, anything that has to do with the shadow, darkness, pain, ugliness, guilt is beautiful. And look at the jewels there, and
Yes.
Become friends with it, and love it, and watch it sparkle. All the nastiness and the shit and all of that is so beautiful. They all have a function.
Absolutely.
And
I can't believe you just said that. I've got to send you something if I can find it. Hold on a second. There we go. I just read this earlier today. Hopefully I can find it. The priestess and the messenger. Priestess and the messenger, part 1 of 2. Oh, okay. So there's a 1 and a 2 part. Um, let's see. I'm going to, let me see how am I going to do this. Send you this. Let me know if you can grab that. Can you get messages on here? You should be able to. If not, then I can put it on Facebook page as well. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do that. Oh, the Facebook. Oh, here we go. Oh. Did you get that message? I can't hear you because you're muted, probably.
I've never done it before, but all I have to do is hit it and it'll come up. Yes, I did get it.
Okay, and I just sent it to you on Facebook too. Anyway, so
Okay.
that talks about it, and then when you find that, you can find the other part of it. But it talks about the dark goddess, or what it will do is it'll take you to her website, and if it takes you to her website, some of the stuff that she posts sometimes a couple times a day. She's amazing. She's got her doctorate degree in this and that and the other thing and all of that kind of stuff. But she is so tuned in to the goddess and the priestess. And all about astrology all around it, and the dark priestess, the dark goddess, the dark god.
I'm so interested, especially my son is in the anti-fifth, and he was living with demons. You know, he could see them everywhere. That was part of his schizophrenia. He could see them in me and people and chasing us, and also. My friends are ex-heroin addicts, sexual abuse victims. I mean, it's all there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and you know, you chose that life so that you would understand that, because you're going to be called in to be of assistance. So the next card is how other people see you. It's kind of like the climate of how some other people see you, and this is the 7 of Swords, and what this is basically saying is like they see that you've dropped your old thought forms, not all of them, but a lot of your old thought forms about the way things used to be, but they see you still carrying some of them, and it's just like they're just watching, and it's just like, okay, so she's dropping some, you know, every now and then she'll just pick up one of those swords and drop it. And swords are about thought forms. They're about three-dimensional thought forms, things that take us down, things that don't serve us anymore. You know, it's the old way of thinking, and kind of the new thing that's come, you know, in the deck is the wands, and the wands are the spiritual swords. And what's really cool about that is that the outcome card for this, even though I did pull another one on top of that, the outcome card is the 8 of Wands. And the 8 of Wands is all about just enormous amounts of energy coming in for you. Like literally anything you want to do, you can do. You can create it. You've got so much potential and so much backing because you are in alignment. And so lots of things are coming up for you. You're going to have a lot of interesting manifestations coming up. And you're going to see, oh, wow, I can do that, and I can do that, and this is possible, and that's possible. Even more than you've got right now, and it sounds like you're already your momentum is moving forward. Oh, wow. The card that I pulled that I had down and I didn't see, and I said I pulled another one on top of that, it's the Ace of Cups. It's all about new beginnings, new love. A new way of loving, a new way of partnering, a new way of seeing life, overflowing love, overflowing abundance, joy. Wow, that's gorgeous. New beginnings. So this is literally what it feels like to me, is you are going to see your life in this higher dimensional reality. As the love,
I think it was yesterday. I got a taste, or the day yesterday, and the day before for love. I don't have very many friends, but I got together with some of my friends' birthday, and I felt loved like I never had before, and I held them, squeezed them, and just like, I never felt that before.
Oh.
You know, it felt so good. You know, the heart. So that's that, and I know that I can walk in that and live in that. And also, my children feel it. They feel the shift.
Yeah.
And the 3 that are not homeless contact me average every day, you know, a text, a picture, or whatever, you know, or get together or whatever.
Do they all live in Hawaii?
Yeah, my oldest was already here, and he was part of why I brought the 3, and we each had 2 suitcases and rented a house through housing, hadn't seen it, and yeah, we've been here 12 years.
Nice.
Yeah, but it's been a trip. I can tell you, I went back into my alcoholism, and my youngest daughter tried to kill herself. I tried to kill myself. My son, schizophrenia.
Wow.
All that happened in a 6-month period. And then I was involved in a sexually addictive relationship and actually abandoned my children to live with him. They were all teenagers. And that house in Haiku became known as the drug house. And there was an heroin overdose there. I mean, I realized a couple weeks ago that I'm coming out of the trauma. I've been just, you know, my whole system was just still vibrating with the trauma, and now I'm healing from it. I'm in the healing. I'm coming out of it right now, but allowing myself, you know, being more gentle, looking at the trauma that I've been through and my children have gone through, and what beautiful lessons, and that I was able to embody that archetype of that abandoning, cold-hearted mother.
Oh, I was like that with my daughter. I was. Oh my God. I look back at that, and I mean, it is awesome because she talked to me last night, and you know, and she's like, you know, I want to sometimes be really mad at you and hate you, and I just love you, and you're my mom, and I love you, and it's like, wow, cool, because she was like, you know, take me down if she could. She tried to. I mean, she scared the shit out of me. But that's all gone because I changed the way I think about her, about me first, but then about her. All of a sudden, I kept telling these stories about her, and you know, I got everybody to jump on board with me. And then all of a sudden, I looked at myself about 3 or 4 years ago, and I went, what the fuck are you doing? You're still doing what you say you're not, you know, all of that stuff. And it's like, oh my God. And from then on, I shifted it. And it didn't take hardly any time at all for the relationship to just level a little bit. You know, and still way out here, but level. And it's just getting more and more and more, you know, closer, and it's nice, you know, but, you know, I've got a very independent daughter, and that's a good thing. She needs to be independent, you know, and she's grateful for that, you know, she really is, and there will be a day she'll be able to see it even more clearly than she does right now, but she sees a very different mother. You know, I came from a very abusive background, and I had her when I was 20, and, you know, I wasn't even out of it yet, so it was like, I was a fucked up baby raising a fucked up baby. But, you know, but I know that every single bit of what I went through and what my daughter went through was chosen by us for the experience itself. And it's important now to not so much even go back over all of it anymore. In fact, I rarely ever do, because That no longer exists. What exists is right here, right now, and that's it. Except that we bring it with us. And as long as we keep telling the stories, and while it's nice, with something like this to reiterate and to show progression and why it's so important to be where we are right now and all of that kind of thing. So I'm not saying don't be doing that. It's just saying, there will come a time we won't even remember. It won't be necessary. And it's really getting to be like that now. I mean, there's so much I don't remember. I was telling my daughter last night because she was going over a bunch of stuff in the past, and she talked a little bit about it, and I just said something like, because she's like, why didn't you tell me that? If I would have known that, I wouldn't have been so upset with you. And I said, well, I just kind of got to a place where I don't feel like I need to defend myself anymore. It's just so much work. And then it makes me go back and think about, how this played out and how that played out and how this played out and how that played. And I'm not interested in living there. I want to live right here, right now. And I know who I am. And as long as I know who I am and I be that, eventually you're going to see it. And she got that. So here's the Goddess card deck. Wow, this is interesting. It's called Proper Burial for Freedom. Can you see it well? Yeah. That is Osiris. Oh. That's Osiris. And they both have Isis's headdress. This is going to be interesting. So this is Sacrifice to Osiris, Lord of the Dead. How interesting is that? These tend to be fairly long, so proper P. Here we go. You need to see something through and let it go, so that you are free from it. Okay, so you need to see something through and let it go so that you are free from it. You may or may not be fully aware of what this is, but your energy field is somehow haunted by the past or drained by the attachments that are no longer necessary for your growth. Can you believe that I'm reading this after the conversation we literally just had? Talk about synchronicity. Like, hello. This could be anything from a past relationship to dreams or visions that may have encouraged you in the past but are not relevant for where you are going now. It might also be spirit of a lost child or loved one, someone that has passed on or has left your life, or a ghost of expectations unmet from past hopes and dreams. There's so much beauty and fullness waiting for you right now. Beloved initiate, there is no need to further hold on to the past. Do not be scared. You are supported so utterly and completely in the deep healing release now, and all involved will benefit from the healing change. It is not abandoning what you have loved to give it full and proper burial. It is in fact honoring and allowing what you are releasing to return to pure love and light of the source. It is spiritual freedom for you and what you have released, which is the destiny to which all of life will eventually return. It takes great trust, but if you allow Osiris to help you, you will realize that in letting go, rebirth and growth is really possible. You may experience grief, anger, fear, freedom, and a sense of relief, or a combination of these feelings as you move to let go and allow proper burial to take place. Do not be afraid of any of these feelings, for they will pass naturally when allowed to just flow. These feelings will actually fertilize new life and allow you to become more of who you are in your truth. In truth. Trust that Osiris will love and protect that which is released into his care through the world of death. Death too becomes new life. There is nothing to fear and everything to gain. Wow. That in itself is powerful, but that in itself, directly after the conversation we just had, is unmistakable. You can come back on now and talk to me.
I love it.
Wow. So that's really pretty much what all of this is about. This is about really truly having ceremony. Ceremony just came in. When you're doing your meditations, have a ceremony of release. Write down the things that you've talked about. Write down those things and release them. Burn them in a bowl. Smoke is multidimensional. You will release it through and let it go. You are not any of those stories anymore. You are the clear, bright, beautiful, awakening, ascending goddess that exists right here, right now. Nothing else does. And when you go into meditation, you get to a place where you just feel that 0 point, no weight, nothing, right? So there's also something that you need to bring that into your work life, into your daily life. You need to keep that space of balance inside in that solar plexus area as you move through your days, as a natural way of being. Are you doing that?
No. Last night, the solar plexus, there was huge healing. In fact, I had cramps last night in my solar plexus, like cramps. And I kept thinking, can I handle that pain? Why is it? You're healing, let it go. Let it up. Let the pain get huge. Feel it.
Yeah, move into it.
Yeah. And then moved up to the heart. I can't even put into words. And what is so awesome is knowing my next meditation is going to be better than that one.
Yeah.
Because everyone is, and I hunger for it. So I need to ask you one question.
Sure.
I'm learning that I'm learning exactly what I'm supposed to learn. Whatever I'm confused about and I don't understand, it's going to become perfectly clear, and even the disorder, chaos, and confusion is part of the learning process.
Yes, it is.
And if there's fear attached to it, look at that fear and go, rah!
Or sometimes just move into that 0 point in your solar plexus and allow your higher self to do the releasing, to show you gently, instead of needing to control it, needing to know, needing. Yeah. That's where all of that frenetic energy comes from. When you can go into that quiet space, things like this happen.
Yes. And yeah, I was going to say that I'm in this space. I don't even want to leave the condo, and then in my car, I'm there with higher self, and higher self is, I'm embodying my higher self more and more. And at this point in my growth, I call on my inner child. My inner child is like the code to get to my higher self. And so my child gets in there and goes, "Yay, you remembered me, and here we are." The fun. Okay, here we go. And I listen to music all the time. Today, the music was so beautiful. And that reminded me, after I talked to you earlier, do you want this? I go, yes, I want this. This is your life. Just listening to a piece of music blows your mind, and I feel it in all my cells. And then to look at that egret that is flying by right now. Look at the wind. Look at those trees, right? You know, that's how many people enjoy life like that? I mean, just enjoy listening to it. So that's my life. And the goddesses will appear.
Honey, no, sorry. You're going like this. It's like this. It's in you. You are the goddess. You are the vessel for higher self, which is goddess.
But you mentioned that there's a circle of goddesses that are...
your outer friends. Sorry. Yeah, like the goddesses will appear. I'm sorry. I apologize. I just wanted to make sure you... Well, see, even that, yes. You know, the more... But the goddesses, your friends, you're going to either be meeting new friends, or your friends that they're going to come and celebrate with you.
Yes, we had that little celebration. I got a taste of it.
Yeah.
Where we all left saying, this was the best time I ever had. You know, we were all so authentic, and at one, you know, raising our hands up, laughing, the restaurant. And every once in a while I'd stop and I'd look at Rachel, or I'd stop and look at Steph, and I'd go, oh my God, they are so powerful. Look at her. She's so beautiful. And then I'd think, that is me. You know, this is these are my friends. This is, and I'm expecting integrity, intelligence, wit, sarcasm, spirituality, strength. I'm expecting, that's who I am, and so I attract that into my life.
Absolutely.
Yes, and I have to keep shutting the door on the old lower energy people that are, you know, keep knocking on the door. Why won't you talk to me? Or on Facebook, call me. And I gotta keep the door shut. And it's fine. It's interesting. It's fine. But yeah, moving on.
You know, and a lot of times what you can just say, you know, to yourself, not necessarily to them, is, you know, thank you for the opportunity, for the choice. I've made my choice. I appreciate and love you. Your journey is your journey. I'm moving in a different direction. You know,
I actually did talk to one, and I said, I really need to continue being on my own. I'm sure that we'll get together sometime in the future, but this is, I'm like in retreat, and, you know, great meditations, great this, great that. This is where I'm at, and I really love you, and I really do love you, but I need more, learn how to build my boundaries and ground myself before I see you. And, you know, she understood that. So, the one thing is, sometimes I want to ask these questions, but it's like, you don't need to ask that. It's something it'll become clear. Oh, there's belief structures crashing, and I'm trying to hold on to them, and they're not working, and so I feel like, oh my God.
They're judgments. They're self-judgments that you're not maybe even aware that you have.
Yes.
It's always
like,
a self-judgment.
Get your shit together. You need to understand this.
Yeah, and you use the word need a lot.
Good. Need. I'm going to repeat that over and over and see what it is.
Actually, why don't you just relax? You don't have to constantly work. You know, just be a gentle observer. And then be very gentle on yourself when you see that you're using it and what it might mean, or maybe not even really understanding yet, you know, not quite getting it yet. You know, there's something to be said for really going fast and going far fast, but there can also be you know, a detriment in that. And I think that might be the crux of what's going on here, because I think that's what you've done in the past. You've always wanted so much so fast that you went like full on into, you know, whatever it is that you did, so full head on that you didn't really get a chance to know it as you were going along and check yourself, you know, and you weren't so kind to yourself. And I think maybe what's going on now is you're being asked to just, I mean, thank God you're doing such a beautiful job with your meditation. And I'm just saying, bring that feeling of peace into more of your life, more of your moments.
I just recognized it's a learning style. I was trained. I went to private schools in Smith. I had to learn everything. The test is tomorrow, and I have to get an A. I have to get an A, so let's cram this in. And the truth is, I don't remember anything I ever learned.
Yeah.
And then I labeled myself stupid, and as a poor learner, and everything attached to that, because I didn't absorb the wisdom. It was just I stuff myself and I purge it, you know, and that's kind of how it's been. I get a new book every day. You know, I got Mercury, Jupiter, and I love learning.
Yeah.
However, I get aggravated because it's going straight through me, and so slowing down.
Because slow down, relax into it, and you know, you don't have to know everything. In fact, what you're going to be realizing is that you can know everything. You already do. In that space where you are aligned with your higher self, when you want to know something, you'll get a download that will show you fucking everything that you want to know right then and there. You don't need to hold on to it.
I get stuff. I get a whole book.
Yeah.
A whole concept of a book in
seconds. Yeah. Yes.
What I'm craving for. I know I want to know this and I don't understand it. Please.
Yeah, well, so what you need to maybe take a look at now is make sure that, you know, what you're saying to yourself, I need this and I need that and I need to know it now and I need to know it all and all of that kind of stuff, isn't an old program playing out.
It's fear-based.
Yes. Yes, so I want you to go back and listen to especially the Isis card. You got Osiris, which is, he's awesome. That was Isis's husband and brother, by the way.
Wow, I'm going to look up Isis and Osiris.
Yeah, powerful, powerful beings. But definitely go back and listen to this one. I send it to you. I'll send it to you within the next day or so. And we're at about an hour and 19 minutes now. I don't know how far back it was, but you can move through it and, you know, get to where I'm reading this because it was, and the conversation just before it, because wow, that could not have been a more powerful acknowledgement of what you're here to absorb tonight. You know, it's not about learning. It's just getting that information into your system. It lives within your greater self. So when it's necessary, it will come into you. You don't have to remember every little thing. It already exists within you. And when you need it, it will come. Trust that. You know how to trust things and make them happen.
Okay.
Be gentle on yourself.
I'm so glad I'm getting the ability to not think.
Yeah. It's huge.
And instead feel the joy of not thinking. There's just space here. Yes.
Because in that not knowing is knowing all. In the nothing is everything.
I like to say in the uncertainty, I'm in the field of uncertainty, which is the field of endless possibilities and infinite potential.
Yes.
As soon as I'm feeling that confusion, uncertainty, it's like, dance.
Yeah.
It's time to dance.
Yeah.
I do 5 rhythms, and I dance every day.
Beautiful.
Yeah, the energies.
Oh, yeah.
Release them, and yeah.
Yeah, that's
dance.
Really powerful.
Okay, how much do you charge?
I typically charge like $65 for a reading.
Okay, I'm gonna send you $100. Do you have a PayPal account? Well, I knew that when you said we're going to do a reading. I knew. Okay, $100.
It's thank you. My PayPal is judyjandora@gmail.com.
At what?
Gmail.com.
.com. Okay. I'll get that in there after I hang up.
Bless you. And thank you. And, definitely stay in touch with me. Let me know how things are going. Sometimes this is an old program that you're getting, you know it's there, but it's like there's a fear of losing it because it feels it's an ego thing. It's not a typical ego thing. It's not like, when we hear about ego, it wants to stay alive. So it needs to be loved. It needs to be nourished. It needs to be nurtured, It needs to be nurtured and say, thank you so much for serving me all of this time. You've done everything I've ever asked of you, and I paid no attention to you. I didn't even realize you were there. I so appreciate everything. Thank you so much, and I'm setting you free. You are love. That's all you've ever been. And you played this really difficult role for me, and now you get to go be love. And every time little bits of it come back, do the same thing. Bring it in, make it big. Send it love, send it appreciation, set it free. And that will help you to really, really relax into this. But also, be gentle on yourself. You don't have to go at this like gangbusters. If you're in the now, there is nothing else you need. And when you go into your meditations, sounds to me like that's where you're going. So there's no need involved here. They're just as be gentle, be quiet. And then go play and go dance. But don't need to know anything else, because you'll get everything.
That's the key. As soon as I let go of needing anything, I'll get everything.
Absolutely.
I heard that.
Absolutely.
It's like common sense.
Yeah. Well, look at yourself. Sorry, I'm only doing this because we're working here. It's common sense. But it was almost as if you were like, duh, buh. But that was almost a smack.
Oh.
To yourself.
Yes, because I've.
You're playing out programs. That's all I wanted you to see.
Yes, because I had a friend that didn't have good college degrees or anything. In fact, she doesn't have enough to do that. But she had common sense, and you don't have that, June.
Yes, you do, girlfriend. You just played out the program. You played out the program, and listen, the program is one that you asked to dance in. But it's over now. The dance is over. There's a new dance. And so now you have to love that old program into its own release. And just be gentle on yourself when you're doing it. Do it as you go along. Just be really gentle. And if you need a pep talk, just let me know.
Okay. I'm full.
Okay.
I want to go get on Isis' lap right now on her throne.
Yay. Yeah. I would definitely suggest you get these cards too. I have a feeling they're gonna do you an enormous amount of good.
I resonate. I resonate.
The Isis Oracle deck. I got them on Amazon.
Yeah. Elena Fairchild.
Oh my God. It's so powerful. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
I wish I could hug you.
I know. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do that. We'll get a chance to do that. That would be so cool. I'd love to come to Hawaii sometime and just go play and bask. I mean, I was there over 20 years ago, but who knows? I don't even know where I'm going to be the next day these days. I literally am just like, whatever. Mwah.
Love you too.
Talk to you soon, darling.
Okay, bye.